Herbruck's Poultry Ranch raises nearly 11 million birds in operations across Michigan, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. You may even have purchased some of our eggs at your local grocery store. Believe me when I say the poultry industry is in crisis. Since 2022, 153 million commercial, backyard, and wild birds across 48 states have been infected by H5N1, a novel strain of bird flu. Millions more animals have been euthanized to stop the spread of the virus. I liken this avian flu scourge to a terrorist attack because it undermines one of the country's most critical systems, our food supply, and poultry farms have been fighting this battle for years. But regrettably, there's no end in sight to this war, and now American consumers are sharing the burden. A recent surge in the virus has triggered more culls, devastated farms, and resulted in skyrocketing grocery prices. A dozen eggs, which should wholesale for about $2, have spiked to $8 and higher at Herbruck's Michigan farm. We experienced an outbreak in April 2024. All of us at Herbruck's were devastated to learn about the detection, and as someone who has cared for and depended on egg-laying hens for more than 60 years, I'm heartbroken by the loss of any hen. Once avian flu is in the flock, it moves with frightening and deadly speed. We first detected the virus the day before Easter when we lost 70 birds in one of our barns. By Easter Sunday, 700 were dead. The following day, after it is confirmed that avian flu has infected a farm, the USDA essentially takes over and their policy is to stamp out the virus. Within a week, we lost 6.5 million hens, which means 6 million fewer eggs per day were being produced and sold in the market, too. A family farmer that's emotionally and financially devastating. To the American consumer, it's a gut punch. These culls are not easy to bounce back from. It will take months to repopulate our farm. After working with federal and state regulators and ensuring our farm was free and clear of the virus in June, we are still only operating at 70% of our full production capacity. Coupled with biosecurity protocols, the USDA policy of stamping out the avian flu has worked to control the spread of bird flu in the past. But with new strains of bird flu and the unprecedented infections of dairy cattle, we can no longer rely solely on biosecurity to protect our flocks. America must start to vaccinate its poultry populations against avian flu just as we've vaccinated against Newcastle disease, infectious bronchitis, and a handful of other illnesses for decades. Why is avian flu allowed to persist? Even though H5N1 vaccines exist and are made in America, we are not allowed to give them to our birds. Our federal government must take urgent, critical measures to help address this crisis, and that means implementing an aggressive strategy on vaccines. We need enhanced universal biosecurity requirements across the agriculture industry and a strategic initiative that engages experts in the industry to expand our knowledge on bird flu and how we can further mitigate this crisis. If we effectively address bird flu, customers will see relief at the grocery store, and Americans will no longer have to pay the price for this preventable disease. It will take a renewed scientific and political will to address the vulnerability of our nation's food supply, but it can be done. We can't delay or our goose may be cooked.
He must have given up. Thrown in the towel, abandoned his sad little masquerade. I finally got to him. The power of the press triumphs.